Well, welcome back, everybody. Universities are supposed to be bastions of academic freedom and inquiry, but the reality is they're the complete opposite. They're factory mills for the radical left groupthink, and the latest casualty in canceling independent thought is Professor Gregory Manco. He's a math professor at St. Joseph's University who has been suspended by the school for tweets arguing against slavery reparations and race training. Let me show you one of his tweets. Here he writes, "So if these numbers are true about people's perceptions of racism, what does it say about all the race bias training that has been going on for some years now? Could it be that such training actually divides us and worsens race relations?" Truth is, it sounds exactly like something I'd say on this program. But you see, simply asking a question rattles the left. Forget about it if you're a professor. And sadly, their absolute control of our universities demand conformity and obedience, or else you must pay the consequences, and this professor is. And that professor joins us now. Gregory Manco, thank you for coming on the program. Professor, welcome.
Grant, how are you? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm happy to have you on. What was your reaction when you learned you were being suspended for simply offering up a viewpoint which is widely accepted by half the country?
Well, you know what? I'm independently of how many people accept it. This is a violation of my academic freedom rights that's spelled out in our faculty handbook, and that's part of our contract. I voiced my opinion on a Twitter account that doesn't even have my name in the profile. And some students, let me correct that, some former students, graduates, found out it was my Twitter account. They didn't agree with what I was saying. They took screenshots of the tweets. They doxed me by adding commentary to the tweets, sent them around campus to the current students with my name, my position, my employer, with information on how to try and get me fired. And within 3-4 hours of me finding out about all this, I was put on paid leave.
Yeah. You know, you raised the issue of one, your freedom of speech, but even I saw, and you posted this on your Twitter account, your policy handbook for St. Joseph's. It says when you write or speak as citizens, okay, you should be free of institutional censorship or discipline. Well, you're on an anonymous account. Sure as heck you got disciplined here, Professor.
Oh, no question. You know what? 4 years ago, we had a faculty member on the left, right after the election, actually did speak some racially charged comments, but was firmly backed by the university. And you can find that story on the internet as far as they came out in full force, arguing that it's within his academic freedom rights. He wasn't speaking in the classroom. Well, not only was I not speaking in the classroom, I wasn't even speaking under my name. Somebody literally had to go looking for me, and they just were literally out to dox me and to get me. And it's just a blatant, unfortunate, blatant double standard what's going on here. And yeah, you're right. The academic freedom policy.
You're not alone. We heard from another professor a couple days ago that she quit her job simply saying, we do not want to have an environment where one student who's offended by something can get a professor fired or disciplined like this. This is going on around the country, isn't it?
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, you know, diversity, tolerance, inclusion is really big on campuses these days. And, you know, that's fine. That's great. I'm all for it. Comes to ideas, forget about it. Half of our campus is scared to be themselves. People have gotten so much support from students reaching out to me, but they're also afraid to really come out publicly about it themselves, because you know what? I don't want them to either, because I don't need them to endure what I'm going through. And it's really unfortunate. The university should be the last place this should be going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we want to do all we can to fight for you. I know our viewers out there would. I'm sure that's not going to have a great effect on St. Joseph's. I know they probably hate Newsmax and everything we do here on Stinchfield. But lastly, you got an attorney involved in this? You think you get your job back? Do you want your job back? Real quick, if you can sum it up for me.
I absolutely want my job back. I love my university, but let me just say I've spoken to a lot of people. There's a lot of people in my corner with all kinds of credentials, and the bullies picked on the wrong guy this time.
Well, Gregory Manco, I appreciate you standing firm. The fight is in you, and I salute you for that, sir. Thank you for coming on, and I hope one day when my kid's in college, he's got you as a professor. God bless you.
Thank you, Greg. Have a great night. Thank you.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.